Bite your tongue. In this episode, we're going to talk about biting your tongue. What does it mean, and when should we do it when we want to grow and supersize our business? Of course, biting your tongue means keeping quiet about something, or if you accidentally say something, feeling ashamed that you said something that you probably could have reserved and not said, or you probably shouldn't have said. You know, sometimes we say things that hurt people's feelings. Sometimes we say things by mistake. I'll never forget, I asked a lady if she was pregnant one time, and of course, I asked her when her baby was due, and of course she wasn't pregnant. And I was mortified. That was a definite situation where I wished I had bit my tongue and not made any questions or assumptions about anything. I felt terrible. And nowadays, I guess as our population is getting heavier, I would not even dream of asking someone when they were due, unless they're sitting in the OBGYN's office in a chair waiting to go in. And then I probably wouldn't either after that mistake. But we do this in our lives and in business all the time. We put our foot in our mouth. We wish we would have left our foot in our mouth and not opened it. But I think that's part of the human condition is we assume, we jump to conclusions, we ask questions based on our own past, on our own experiences, and our own thoughts and feelings and beliefs. And we forget that everybody is coming at their life and the experience and the situation that we're all in together from a different perspective, a different set of beliefs, a different way of thinking. So sometimes, more often than not, it's better to bite your tongue and hold off not saying, listen, 2 ears, 1 mouth for a reason. Listen, ask questions for understanding, and then determine what you're going to say. But always consider what you're going to say and how you're going to say it before you open your mouth. Well, I'm still practicing this one, obviously. So have you ever been in a situation where you reacted emotionally and spouted off, or in anger or frustration, said something that you regretted, number one. Number two, once you say it, you can never take it back. Once it comes out of your mouth, and even when we intend things in a positive, right way, they can still be misinterpreted. So if I keep that in mind, I'm much less likely to say something than not. Now, I don't have any trouble speaking my mind. I don't know if you've listened to me for any amount of time, but that should have probably come through so far in my videos and in my podcasts and in my communications. I tell it like I see it. Now, I try to present the position that this is how I see it. It might not be how you see it, but this is what I see going on. This is what I'm observing. This is what I'm hearing you say, and then I'll ask questions about that. But I don't have any trouble saying what I see, but I also try to preface it with, this is what I'm observing, not necessarily what you're feeling. And then I'll say, well, is this what you mean? And I try very hard to repeat back to people when they say something, and repeat back and question and say, is this what you're saying? As my interpretation of what you're communicating, what's really going on here. And this is really important. Biting our tongue is really important in highly emotionally charged situations, dealing with the competition, politics, religion. I bite my tongue almost all the time on those topics because everybody's entitled to their own opinion, and their opinion doesn't need to have anything to do with me, and especially doesn't have anything to do with my business or how we work together as a business person. What are other things I shut up about? Your sexual orientation or sexual preference. Who cares? None of my business. There are so many things that are none of our business that we think that we need to hop in on and spout off about or judge or comment on, when we should just step back and realize that's none of my business. It doesn't matter. It's not germane to the conversation. Who cares, right? Who cares? Don't bring it up if it doesn't matter. And I think if we were to put ourselves in other people's shoes more often, we would find that it wouldn't be hard to bite our tongue. If we always approach every situation, even the competitive, frustrating, challenging ones, with an open mind, an open heart, and a ability to be in the other person's shoes, I think that all of our communications will come off better. So, bite your tongue. Have you ever been in a situation where you had to bite your tongue? Or have you been in a situation where you should have bitten your tongue, but you didn't. I've been in quite a few of them, especially when it comes to dealing with difficult people, difficult partners, difficult employees, difficult significant others, difficult children, difficult bullying type people. Anybody, you know, that I find challenging or that's super different from me, those are, of course, the people that we have the biggest challenge dealing with, the biggest, hardest time understanding. And those are the ones we need to bite our tongue, listen first, listen for understanding, and then decide what we will or will not say based on the situation and what's appropriate for the situation. You know, sometimes I believe in being authentic and being yourself, but sometimes every situation requires that we should temper ourselves. I hang out in my pajamas 90% of the time, right? Pajama grandma. I do it on purpose. Am I going to go to a funeral in my pajamas? No. Am I going to go to a business meeting in my pajamas? No. Am I going to go to a conference in my pajamas? Well, maybe. It depends on the conference. But for the most part, we always need to be cognizant of our surroundings and behave in a way that honors ourselves and makes us feel good. That's it. Go out making an absolutely amazing day. Bite your tongue if necessary and see how that makes you feel and see how that helps you to grow and supersize your business. Take care. Bye.